welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today's going to be more of a casual video, as today I'm doing the ASMR tag challenge. A huge thanks to ASMR Eliza for tagging me and allowing me to create this video. And I would like to also tag Nymphy ASMR, The Laughing Heart ASMR, and Nanu ASMR to complete this ASMR tag challenge as well. And without further ado, let's get on to the first question. So I have all 25 questions here on my phone and I'm going to go through them one at a time. The first question is, when was the first time that I experienced ASMR? Now this is a very interesting question. I don't think I'll be able to specifically mention the first time I experienced it, but the earliest possible experience I can remember was back in my first ever primary school. I would imagine I would have been maybe 5 or 6, so it was a long time ago. And I remember one of the other kids in the class wanting to pretend paint on my arm, and they were doing it to lots of different people, and it just became like a thing. And you'd basically use a magazine as like a fake paint palette or something, and then you would pretend to paint that colour on the other person, and like, it's a very interesting concept, but I remember being obsessed with it. Straight away I was obsessed with this, and it was a bit annoying actually because it only lasted about a day and then no one would do it anymore, and I remember being quite disappointed that no one was doing it anymore because I loved it. And I suppose that's translated into me growing up. I've always liked my hair being played with, and I've always liked massages and things, like, things to de-stress. And obviously within the last goodness knows how many years, ASMR has popped into my life, and it's been a significant part of it every day since, so I suppose that's probably the earliest possible memory that I can think of. I can't really go back any further than that, but I hope that gives a solid answer to that question. Alright, so the second question is, when did I first watch ASMR on YouTube? Now I can't remember specifically, similar to the last question, but it was probably during school, as a lot of people in my school used to take the mick out of ASMR. I think this was quite common before it was well known. People would often laugh at it and find it funny that people were tapping on things, and people used to put it on not to relax, but they would be put on to the big interactive whiteboard, and people would laugh at it and sort of point and laugh at it and say, look what this person's doing. So that's probably the first sort of time that I'd seen it or experienced it. However, the first time that I actually watched it myself for its intended purpose was many years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I can't remember. And it was actually a video by Dennis ASMR, and it was a microphone brushing video. It didn't have any talking in, which really suited me because I wasn't sure what I liked. I remember seeing it in my recommended because I'd never watched it before, and normally I used to sort of pass it by and say, no, I don't want to watch that, why is it in my recommended? But I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see what it's all about, and I put on this video, and I found it really relaxing, more so than I thought I would. So instantly I started binge watching this person's videos and trying to watch other microphone brushing videos, and generally, over time, I just became more and more obsessed over ASMR. So, if you're watching this, Dennis, thank you. You got me into ASMR, and I wouldn't be sat here without you. So, that's just one thing that it just sort of happened one evening. I was just watching YouTube, scrolling, and I clicked it. It's been a wild journey. My ASMR experience has just grown and grown and grown. I started watching more, and it just became part of my life more and more. I started going from mic brushing to sort of mic scratching to tapping on other objects, and then eventually I found the personal attention videos and I binge watched those, and then it's just, I will watch anything now. There's only a couple of types of ASMR that I won't really listen to, but I'll pretty much listen to anything, and I'm interested in exploring the community more to see what unique triggers there are out there. And obviously, as of recent, I'm making my own content, which has been a massive journey in itself. So it's really weird to think that something that I was so adamant in not watching, I'm now watching every single day and making my own as well, which is just awesome. So it's, the tables really have turned for me. The next question is, what's your favourite unintentional ASMR video? I've got pretty much just 2 words for this question. Bob Ross. Alright, the next question is to name the last 5 ASMR creators that you watched. This is going to be quite difficult without looking at my current YouTube history, but I'll list as many as I can. Definitely ASMR Eliza, because whenever I get a notification from her, I'll watch her video pretty much straight away, or in the evening after I get the notification. Abby ASMR as well, Nanu ASMR as of recent. I've checked out quite a lot of their stuff. ASMR Saloon and Massage, they have a lot of good camera tapping videos, so I've watched them quite a lot. I can't think of any others. There are some miscellaneous channels that I've just randomly picked up in the last week or 2. Especially after having a little bit of a panic attack in the evening, I'll sort of pick up, just search for follow instruction videos and just click on a random one, but I don't necessarily follow the person. I just sort of watch a video, fall asleep hopefully, and then wake up in the morning and, maybe go and leave a comment the next day saying thank you, this helped me out, and then I'll be on my way. So that's that question. The next question is, what's your favourite ASMR trigger to listen to? Now, this isn't really a trigger per se, it's more of a style of video, but I would say follow my instructions. Specifically, I guess you could say light triggers. I think light triggers are my favourite. I'm very much a visual person, I always have been. I've found myself, as of recent, in some of my lectures or in past college classes, sometimes I would be sat listening to someone explaining something and I'd just get that shiver down my back, and I'm like, I'm not watching an ASMR video right now, why am I getting this feeling? I get relaxed by a lot of things, especially if it's visual, just sort of staring ahead at something. After a while, my mind drifts and I sort of lose focus quite easily. But to answer that question generally, I would say light triggers are definitely my favourite trigger, or any sort of visual like hand movements or anything like that. Combining those with sounds really get me and really help me relax. A lot more than most other videos do. Obviously this does reflect in my own content as well. You probably will have noticed that there's a lot of visual stuff on my channel, and that's just because I like it and I find it relaxing, so I just sort of naturally create those sort of videos as well. The next question is, do you use ASMR to relax or fall asleep? Obviously I have already answered this question. I listen to ASMR every single evening. One video that has really been good for me recently is ASMR 8 hours of rain ambience that I put on every night, but I'll occasionally watch ASMR before that and then I'll use that to sleep. Although I do watch ASMR a lot more than I'd be willing to admit, there are a lot of points during the day where I will be procrastinating doing some university work, and instead of going for a walk or getting a drink, I'll just think, I'll lie in my bed and watch some ASMR and I will fall asleep for 3 hours. So, it's, I probably listen to ASMR a little bit too much, but it relaxes me, so that's obviously the plus side to that. Alright, so the next question is, what's my bedtime routine? That's a joke question, right? But all jokes aside, I don't really have a set bedtime routine, apart from the usual brush my teeth, get pyjamas on and go to bed. The actual time that this happens is very, very spontaneous. Sometimes I'll go to bed at a sensible time, such as maybe 11, midnight, and then there will be some occasions where I stay up till 6 in the morning. Like the other day, I had my friend round and we were doing some uni work, and he left at about 6:15 in the morning, so I don't really have a set routine. Sometimes I'll be up filming an ASMR video at 3 in the morning as well, so it really does depend on what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. But I wouldn't call it a routine, it's more of just, I go to sleep when I'm tired, which is a lot of the time. Alright, the next question is, what's my favourite trigger to do? I think I'm going to have to say light triggers, to be honest, because as much as they're very simple, there's so many ways that you can implement them to videos. Whether it's peripheral vision or following or tracing, there's a lot of different aspects that you can do with this, and it's just one thing. All you need is one light, and that is enough to make a video. It's very versatile, and I think that, you know, there are still very creative ways being created now that use lights, and it's always interesting to see new ones and to try them out myself. So yeah, I think that's definitely a strong answer there. That definitely is my favourite one, both to watch on YouTube and to produce myself, I think. The next question is the opposite of that question, so it's my least favourite trigger to do. I would probably say eating. I mean, I haven't actually done that before, but I don't think I'd feel comfortable sort of sitting and just slopping away at some sort of, you know, food or something. It just doesn't sound right. This question is later on, but I'm going to answer it now. That also refers to my least favourite ASMR to watch as well. I don't mind certain mouth sounds. I think they can be relaxing, but I don't find the videos particularly interesting when it's just someone sort of eating with their mouth open, and, you know, it gives me the same vibe that when you're sat at a restaurant with someone and they're just eating, I don't know, let's say a curry, but they're just, food is going everywhere, they're slopping their mouths around. It's not very pleasant, and it gives me that vibe with a video, and I don't really want to watch that in real life, never mind on a video. So that's probably my least favourite ASMR type of content. However, I must say that when someone bites into an apple, it can be particularly satisfying. But it really is subjective, and, you know, there's no like set ASMR that I just dislike. It's just things that I prefer more than others, I would say. Let's have a look what we've got here. The next question is, how long does it take you to make a video? This is a good question because it depends on the video, actually. The Halloween video that I made previously, which is this one just here, that video probably took me about 3 to 4 hours because I had to film it 3 times. The first time I was just cringing over the roleplay that I did, so I just completely deleted it and started again. The second time there were way too many noises outside and I just got frustrated. And the third time was the one that you actually see, and the one that I posted. If I'm doing everything fast try and there's no edits, no cuts, and there's no noises outside, a video could take 30 to 40 minutes to actually create, or to film, shall I say. But then editing will normally take the duration of that video and onwards. So probably about maybe 2 hours. But then of course you've got to account for the exporting time, which could be maybe half an hour to 40 minutes, and then uploading to YouTube could be about the same. So in total, one video from filming all the way to uploading to YouTube could take between 4 and 5 hours. But the actual filming of the video will normally take about 30 to 40 minutes, an hour at the most. So I can easily film one in an evening, put all my kit away, and then the next day or the day after edit it. It's not really like a solid process. I won't sit down for 5 hours straight and just do everything. I'll do it over the course of days, because otherwise it becomes a bit too much, and, you know, you need to have breaks. I like this next question. Have you ever gotten tingles from your own videos? Possibly once or twice, but I think they've been videos where I've not been talking. I think they've been videos where I've just tapped on an item or brushed the microphone. They're not been like instruction videos. They haven't been videos where I've been talking in, because I find it unusual to. I've put my videos on before, and I find it unusual when I hear myself talking. It throws me off a bit. As much as if it was someone else saying the exact same things that I was saying, then I'd find it relaxing. But because I know that it's myself, it throws me off, and I just don't find it relaxing at all. But I have done a microphone brushing video with no talking in the past, and I have watched that more to see if there are any mistakes, because I'm always paranoid and conscious that even though I've checked it 3 times, is there a mistake in it? And then I'll watch it. Once I find that there's no mistakes, then I never watch it again, really. So the next question sort of follows on from the last one, and it's, do I watch my own videos? I don't actively watch them, no. However, in the circumstances of a premiere going live, then I will watch it, because I'll sit and watch it live and respond to comments live as well. So when I see people coming in, asking questions, and just sort of generally chatting, I'll reply to some things and, just sort of interact with everyone on a more personal level, which I think is good. And sometimes if I'm more paranoid that I've got a mistake in a video, I'll watch it back. But not to relax, no, I don't watch my videos, I tend to go to other people for that. The next question is, what software do you use to edit? So to edit all my videos, I use Adobe's Premiere Pro, and occasionally if I'm doing some fancy titles or effects, then I'll use After Effects for that, because it's a bit more professional for that sort of VFX and sort of visual design elements of videos, but I very rarely use that for an ASMR video. Most of the time it's just cutting and pasting into Premiere Pro with the audio and sort of lining it all up in the correct way and then exporting it out. What time of day do you film? Well, for context, it is currently 2:30 in the afternoon for me right now as of filming this video, but the answer is pretty much just whenever it's quiet. If I'm free and it is quiet, I will film something. It can be midday, it could be 3 in the morning, it could be 11 at night, it doesn't really matter. There's no set schedule, because there could be roadworks going on outside, there could be people in the house making noise, there could just be cars going up and down the road all the time. It really depends on a lot of things, but no, there's no flat structure to filming, it's pretty much just when it's quiet. Alright, the next question's a really good one, and it's what's my favourite video that I've made so far? I do like the eyes closed videos that I've done. I think they are creative, and I'm really glad to see the traction that they've got, because I think they've pushed a lot of other creators to make them as well, and that's great because I love watching them myself. So it's really great to see that video has kicked off the trend again. I do also really enjoy doing the trigger assortments, especially the themed ones. I did a video probably about a year ago, it was a long time ago, where I did a games consoles assortment. So I basically tapped on and made some sounds with a Nintendo Wii, a Nintendo 3DS, a Nintendo Switch, a Game Boy, and lots of other small sort of consoles like that, which I really enjoyed doing. I'm a gamer myself as well, so I really enjoyed that one. But I don't think I have a favourite video as such, but I think the closed eyes videos are probably one of my favourite sort of sections of my videos. Alright, the next question is, has one of your videos had an unexpected negative fan reaction? I don't think I can say that I've had a negative reaction on any of my videos so far, which is obviously great to see. Everyone's been really supportive, and I really appreciate the community for the constructive criticism and the feedback and the general comments that people post. It's really nice to see that my videos have helped so many people, because that is obviously the ultimate aim of them. Going in the reverse of that though, I have had one video which blew up and got a lot more attention than I thought it would, and that was this video here, which is my closed eyes ASMR instructions video, and that's got 1 million views now, so thank you everyone so much for loving that video and giving it all of the support and the feedback in the comments and just generally interacting with it, because that video has basically what's made my channel what it is now, and most of you probably will have subscribed from that video. I think that video took me from 400 subscribers to 40 to 50,000 subscribers in about a month and a half, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I really appreciate you guys pressing the subscribe button. Obviously it helps me out, gives me an incredible amount of motivation, and just generally it's just outstanding to see. So that's the reverse of that question. That's a little bonus question actually, I suppose, because I don't think that question is in this list, but I've answered it anyway. The next question is, what video of yours do you think didn't get the love it deserved? Honestly, I don't know, because I think that's very subjective to the amount of subscribers that I have at the time of posting. There are videos that I posted back when I had 400 to 500 subscribers that got a couple hundred views, and I thought that's really good. But obviously because I have more subscribers now, I get more views than that on videos that I post, so I think it's very subjective based on the timeline of where I posted it from the start of my channel to now. I don't think there's any video that I would say that's underperforming. I think everything is performing how it should do. Obviously the videos that I made a year ago are still getting views because new people are subscribing and then going back and finding the older videos, so they are still getting viewed, which is great to see. But obviously, whether it deserves that love is down to the people watching, not me, because I just make the content and then change my content according to what type of feedback that I get and how it's received by the community. Alright, the next question is actually a really good one, and I do have an answer for this. The question is, what's something the audience doesn't know about the behind the scenes of your channel? I've got two answers for this actually. The first one being the actual production is in my bedroom. And most people have like a studio space or something, but obviously I'm still at university, so I'm still living at home with my mum. I haven't yet got my own place, but I'm sure I will do in the future. So at the moment I am just filming in my little small corner of the house, and I have this black background to sort of make it seem like I'm in a studio when actually I am just in my bedroom. So it is mind-blowing for me that I have this much support and audience purely from videos that I've created in my bedroom. It just, even though it's happening, it still doesn't always compute in my mind that this is happening. It is beyond amazing. It's beyond sort of comprehension sometimes for me that I look at my channel and I'm like, wow, that's actually my channel. You know, sometimes I struggle to believe how well it's doing, because it is outstanding how well the channel has gone, and obviously I owe it all to you guys that are watching. So again, thank you so much for just, you know, helping the channel get to where it is. The second thing for this is the fact that I did post this on my community story at one point, actually, my community page, but only maybe a few thousand people will have seen it, so most of you may not know this, but when I'm creating a video with light triggers or brushes or any sort of prop video, obviously this video is just me talking, so I haven't done it today. However, if I'm putting something down on the table or picking it up, I'll actually put a towel or a blanket on the table to essentially muffle the sound, because if I'm picking up, or should I say putting down a light onto the table to pick up something else, it'll make a really loud sort of, I don't know, sort of clicking sound, I guess, as I put it on the table. And I don't want any harsh sounds to get through to the video, so I'll put the blanket there, and I'll put all the props onto the blanket, so that when I pick up and put down the items, it makes a nice soft sound, and you don't actually hear me pick it up or put it down, which, again, that was an improvement I made from previous filming, because I didn't used to do that, and I noticed there were a few times where I'd put down a pen or something, and you'd hear the sound, and I just thought to myself, oh, you know, that's not so good. So I sort of improved on that by just putting the blanket on the table, and it sort of fixed that problem. Okay, this is a really good question, actually. What's the most absurd request that you've received from a fan? I would just say adult content. That's probably the only way that I can really explain that without getting demonetized, but I have had a couple of comments asking me to do some rather inappropriate things, but I normally just delete them. I don't even respond to them, so... But I won't go into the details there. You can probably imagine the sort of things that I've been asked to do, and it's not fun. Alright, so we're now into the last 5 questions, and the next question is, do my family and friends know that I create these ASMR videos? Well, my mum has always been very supportive of whatever I've done on YouTube or TikTok, whether it's been gaming, vlogging, music, or ASMR as of recent. She's always been supportive of my decisions and always been, well, just generally supportive of what I've been doing and asked me questions and been interested. Even if she doesn't necessarily understand what I'm doing at the time, she's always showed support, which obviously is very appreciated. And as of recent, she's obviously supported my very wild and spontaneous financial decisions. As go back 2 years when this channel was first created, I didn't have a microphone, and I had a normal sort of 1080p camera, and my content was just average. I didn't have a black background, I didn't have very good lighting, and my camera was just 1080p, and the perfectionist in me didn't really like that. I didn't like the background because it was just my bed in the background, my window. It was very unprofessional, as you know, I thought, and the only thing that was really good about it was the audio quality. But as of recent, obviously, I decided, hey, I'm going to spend £230 on this microphone, and I bought this microphone. And then I thought, I need a 4K camera, so I spent £730 or something ridiculous on a camera. And that was basically about £1,000 that I spent on equipment, purely on the basis of ASMR is fun to film, it helps people, and I want to make more content that looks better than my previous content. And at the time, my friends on the Discord call were basically saying, like, no, stop spending money, because I'd send them a link to a camera and say, oh hey, I'm interested in buying this, and they're like, no, stop, you've already bought a microphone, you don't need that as well. But I sort of ignored that, did it anyway. But I can say it has been a good investment, and it is completely worth it, and it has proven to be worth it, so it was a good financial decision in the end, but at the time it was very spontaneous. I do pick and choose who I tell about it, obviously, but I'm pretty open with it now, because I'm actually really proud of the community that I've grown, and I'm really proud of all of you for sticking around, and just, without you all I wouldn't really be doing this, and it's great to see that something I've worked so hard on has paid off, and obviously I will continue to work hard on, not only to grow further, but also to provide you all with more and more content that you can watch. So yes, the answer to that question is my friends and family do know that I create videos, but not all of them, just some of them. The next question, it says, have you ever been recognised in public? And the very short answer to that is no, I haven't. But if you see me, say hi. Alright, so the next question is, what inspires my video ideas? Well, I'm going to rephrase that question and probably say who inspires my video ideas, because there's no set thing per se that inspires my videos, but ASMR Eliza has been a huge inspiration for this channel. I found their channel, I think, at about the 12 to 15,000 mark. It was a long time ago. I subscribed to them on my other channel, which is the one that I just use for watching content on, not making. And I've seen them go through 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, and now they're at 100,000, and it's fantastic to see. And they've been a massive inspiration for this channel. The whole follow my instructions in sort of theme and everything sort of came from Eliza. I found their channel actually through searching follow my instructions videos, and just happened to fall under one of their videos and clicked it, and then I've watched a lot since, and it's really inspired me to make my own, so I owe a lot to Eliza. She's really sort of brought this channel forwards for me, and without her I'm not sure it would be where it is now. So if you are watching this, Eliza, thank you so much for posting such fantastic videos, which has inspired this channel to a very significant degree. The next question is, where do you find yourself spending the most time online? Honestly, it's got to be Discord with friends. I spend a lot of time talking to friends on Discord and just sort of socialising, playing games with people, watching films. And as much as I use Discord on YouTube, I, for some reason, within the last couple of months, found myself playing an unnecessary amount of Roblox. I've not played this game since 2015, and I randomly came back to it thinking, why the heck not? And I've been playing it a lot more than I'd want to admit. And that takes me on to the very last question, which is, what advice I would give to someone that is starting an ASMR channel and wants to make their own content. Now, I might not necessarily have took this advice myself when I started, however, I think it's probably a better way to go about things. The first point I would make is to be as consistent as possible with posting. No matter what quality video you are posting, whether it's a lo-fi video, whether you're using a earphone microphone, whether you're using a professional £200, £300, £400 microphone, whatever you're using, just stay consistent with posting, as the algorithm will like that, and you're more likely to gain followers that way. The second point I would say is not to be lazy with your titles, descriptions, thumbnails, and about pages. Link your social medias into your descriptions, link your social media pages into your about page, make sure you have a reasonable description of what your video is about in the description, make your title engaging. I've seen many creators that have quite a lot of subscribers put a description of maybe one sentence that just says, this video is about mic brushing, enjoy. And there's no links to their socials, there's no real sort of effort that's gone into it, and you would be surprised how putting some keywords in your description along with your other socials is really engaging, and it really helps the algorithm pick up your video and generally helps you grow further. The third and most important reason, I can't stress this enough despite the fact that I didn't do it, is not to feel pressured to buy and use expensive equipment. If you already own an expensive camera and microphone, then by all means use it. But if you can't afford to spend £500 or £1,000 or whatever on new expensive equipment specifically to make your ASMR channel, then don't do it. Only spend that money if you can afford it, and you can afford to not necessarily lose that money, but not make it back. Not only is buying that equipment a risk from the financial side of things, but it's also a risk from the motivational side of things as well. You may start making your ASMR channel, and after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, think, I don't want to do this anymore. And then you've spent £1,000 on all of this equipment and you're not going to be using it. Let's say you start with your phone's camera and an earphone microphone. That's perfectly fine, just stay consistent with that content. You may not think it's the best type of content that you could be posting, but there will be people out there that will watch that video. Just make sure you label it correctly. If you label it as lo-fi ASMR, it will attract the right sort of people and you'll get an audience based on that content. And then later on down the line, if you make some money from the channel, you may be able to then afford more expensive equipment if that's the type of content that you want to create. But at the end of the day, I think it's about creating what you want to create, and you've got to let the right people find your channel. Don't be sort of pressured into making different content to what you want to make. Just do what you want to do, and people will follow and unfollow as they please. And I think that's what's great about the ASMR community, is that it's a very positive community. There's not a lot of hate in the community, and also you can make what you want, and there will always be people that will enjoy what you make no matter what it is. Assuming you aren't screaming into your microphone, of course, I wouldn't recommend you do that, but yeah, I think those are the main 3 points. Stay consistent, be professional with branding, and don't feel pressured to use expensive equipment. Just use what you have and grow from there. And that takes me on to the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has been useful, and I hope that you've enjoyed listening to me ramble on for an extended amount of time about these questions, and I hope that you've maybe learnt something about me or the channel that you didn't already know, and I hope that the answers may be becoming useful. Thank you again to ASMR Eliza for tagging me in her ASMR tag video, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then.